don't say personal comments to me, alright? I didn't make personal comments.
Suboor, finish.
Sir, what does that prove? Sir, what does that prove?
What does what prove?
Okay, let's
Proves that it puzzles me, and I can only conclude that you're held back. Something in your religion is holding you back, because it can't be that you're not intelligent enough.
Okay, so here's the thing. You're saying because the Muslim world today is not technologically advanced, there must be something in Islam which is holding us back.
Well, how do you explain it?
That's fine, that's fine. But I'm going to take your line of reasoning, but I'm gonna come up with a different conclusion based upon the same evidence. The Muslim world came up with the scientific method, and they were the leaders in science. So there must be something in Islam.
They were 500 years ago.
But you have a valid question and a valid contention, which is why isn't that the case now? And my answer is the answer doesn't lie in Islam. The answer lies in social political reasons, which I don't want to go into now, which include colonization of the Muslim world, which includes the fact that of the Muslim world today, almost 95% was colonized and destroyed by Western powers in the last 100 years. That has a little to do with the reasons why the Muslim world is far behind the West. And let me tell you this, the Australian Aborigines, they weren't technologically advanced, and they were wiped out, and they were butchered and they were killed by a very advanced society at the time. It doesn't mean their values were better than those of the Aborigines. That's all I have to say on that topic.
But how about you? Earlier you said that the Quran was, like before the Quran, that was like the ground for all science. You suggested that the Quran was the ground for a lot of the science that we know today.
No, I didn't say that. I said
you implied it.
The Islamic world produced the scientific method, and the reason why the scientific world existed is because of the Quran. So without the Quran, there would have been no scientific method.
So wait, so how do you explain that Archimedes invented the drill and other Greek, historians, they created like math and stuff 600 years before the Quran was even made?
There's some assumptions there. Number one, maths was being, if you want to call it, invented and used by the people in the Indus Valley way before the Greeks, right? What the Muslims did is they took knowledge from the Indians, they took knowledge from the Greek, they
particularly the 0 1.
They came together and they made a method which involved falsification. And falsification and testing is something which people didn't do prior to that. So the birth of the scientific method came from the Islamic world. Look, there's a historian, David C. Limber. He's not a Muslim. He's a historian of science. And he says the scientific method came from the Muslim world. What the Greeks did is they did theorization.
The gentleman is kindly protecting my camera, whether he knows it or not. Thank you, I appreciate
it. They as science. Science came from Islam. And that's one of the proofs of the miracle.
I left the umbrella in the car thinking it won't rain.
Big sociological impact.
Teaches me to trust Yahoo.
Just because the science, okay, I think you're making a valid point, but just because it came from this world does not mean that like this Quran and all that it stands for does not make justify that it's real just because science came from your came partially from your world. It doesn't mean
okay. What I'm describing is a sociological miracle, the impact on society. The Quran makes a claim. It says, if you doubt, then produce a book like this. Now the Quran, and I can go into evidences of each, is a linguistic miracle, is a sociological miracle, is a miracle in terms of the predictions that it makes, and is a miracle in terms of the impact that it has on people's lives. Now all I was describing is one aspect of the impact the Quran has had on society. Now I just want to ask you this.
Yes.
Have you read Harry Potter?
Yes, I have.
Okay. have you read any book on the, I don't know, the history of the Greeks or history in general?
Thank you very much.
You read books because it has knowledge about something which you're interested in. You use science, right?
Yeah.
And all of the scientific technology today goes back to the Islamic world, to a man called Hassan ibn Haytham, and that man, he said, the Quran inspired me to do what I'm doing. So, isn't it a valid thing for you to do, sir, to at least question what is inside this book that led to such a big sociological impact on Earth?
Yes, but you can say the same for the Bible, which is another one of it. As these are...
How has the Quran, how has the Bible had a positive sociological impact on the Earth?
Yeah, I'm not saying that, but I'm saying it has,
In what way?
More, it has a lot or more followers.
In what way? In what way has it had this positive sociological?
The scientific method.
And that's detailed in the Quran, is it?
He's established that already. He's explained that. It's not in the book.
Well, he just said that.
No, he says it's an outcome of the Islam. It's not in the book.
My bag, please.
But it's...
bag over there, Scott. Hanging on the rail. Thank you. So, sir, look, you can't work out the purpose of life, the existence of God, and all these things in one conversation.
No,
all I'm doing today is raising what I believe to be valid questions and challenging what I believe to be wrong assertions about the world.
Yeah, and that is Darwinism, right? So, would you think it's wrong for, like, say me? I don't buy the whole Darwinism, but I can buy aspects of it. Do you think that makes me, that do I have a wrong worldview if I agree with some parts of Darwinism, not all of it, but parts of it?
As long as your worldview is based upon evidence, you have no reason to change your beliefs. So
But it's totally based on evidence.
If there's aspects of the Darwinian worldview which you agree with, no problem if you believe there's evidence for that. All I'm doing today is asking for evidence for what I believe it to be wrong in its core mechanism.
Yes.
I believe aspects of what Darwin said are true. I believe there's other things that he predicted which are false. But I believe that to make the claim that all of the diversity of life today is the result of blind natural selection working on variations, I believe that's a grand claim, and I don't believe the science supports that.
But on the other hand, couldn't you see, like, if you see from my opinion, I could see Darwinism as the reasonable one, and maybe the Quran or any religious book for that matter to be the one that you are saying that you can see some parts of it are correct, but you still see the flaws. Do you agree with everything that says in the Quran? Do you agree with everything, every paragraph, everything in the Quran? Do you agree with everything in the book?
I agree with everything in the Quran being the direct word of God. And if somebody can show me that there is a mistake in the Quran or there's something false, I'll change my beliefs.
Okay, so what about this? The Quran is the book, right? We can agree on that. And it is written by, not a god, it is written by man.
No. The Quran is written not by man. The Quran is the revealed word of God.
Yes.
It's written down by man, but we believe it to be the word of God.
Yes, exactly. So that's the point.
Well, you believe it to be.
Yeah, you're saying that yes, indeed, it is the word of God. I respect that. And then it gets down from God to man, and then man produced the book. And like Harry Potter, just if you use that example, we could say that J.K. Rowling said, okay, the God of the word of God is that this world exists alongside ours, and then she says this is a religion, this, and she can start doing all these things. And at that time, what is your evidence for that the Quran was just not something that someone wrote down just because he had some hallucinations? I'm just assuming here, I'm not insulting the religion in any way. I respect your religion. Just saying, what convinces you that this was the word of God and not just someone writing it down, claiming it to be the word of God, as I could do today? I could write a book.
How do you know every other religion that has
I just want to see what you think. I want to see.
That's a good question. Two different things here. Number one, I don't believe the Quran only truth. I believe that there were other prophets, messengers, books and messages that were sent throughout history, and they have elements of truth. But let me give you my line of reasoning, and then you can challenge it. If somebody makes a claim that this is a book of God, and I ask for evidence, and they produce a piece of evidence which for me is clear, then every single aspect of that book I have reasons to trust. Now the Quran has, I believe, many miracles. But what I want to do is I want to share one with you. And remember, the Quran is linked to the Prophet, because the Prophet is the one who spoke it, and what we know now today is from him. Okay? So I'm just going to give you one piece of evidence, and there's many others.
It's a miracle.
Yeah, I believe the Quran to be a miracle.
You know the definition of a miracle, do you?
The thing is, there's a human, definition of miracle. There is an Eastern definition of miracle. I'm going with a very basic definition outside the product of natural forces. Okay? So here's the thing. The Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him, he said, while he was alive, he was in a little city.
I know you.
And in this little city, he made particular predictions. And many of these predictions were very unusual. One of the predictions he made was that he said to the Muslims, you are going to conquer the Byzantine Roman Empire, and you are going to conquer the Persian Empire.
You just got very angry now. I told you how are you.
Today, Ghana, a small country with hardly any power, saying it's going to take on Russia and it's going to take on the United States. And the president of Ghana saying, after I die, you are going to conquer America and you are going to conquer Persia. Because these were two superpowers who were fighting each other. And they'd existed for hundreds of years. And when he died, that is exactly what happened.
How is that a miracle?
Okay, if that is not a miracle, you tell me what a miracle is.
It's okay. A miracle is something.
No.
Outside of space.
That is a Western definition.
Has no explanation.
That is a Western definition.
What's your definition?
Yeah, can you
Oh, it's a Western definition.
give us your definition again?
Something which has no naturalistic explanation.
That's what I just said.
So how about Big Bang?
Suspend
If you
the
wanna
laws of
take Big
nature, that's what I
Bang,
said.
could that be a miracle then? If you want to take that.
How is that different?
How is that different from your...
Before we go into the Big Bang, what do you mean by that?
How is it different from what I
Like
said?
the question of what the Big Bang is.
Because I believe in the Big Bang. I mean, I think there's good reasons for it. But I don't see how that conflicts with the belief I hold.
No, because from my understanding, since you were denying, like, some Darwinism, I assume that you didn't believe in the Big Bang. Now it's going to by assumption,
I mean, look,
it's a little bit irrelevant.
Let me just explain. Look,
How long after the time of Muhammad was it?
That's all.
now, science, when it comes to conclusions, the conclusions are always provisional, so they could change. Scientists previously, including Einstein, 60 years ago, they said the universe was eternal. Always existed. The Quran tells us the universe has a beginning. Scientists today believe in the Big Bang model. Right? Now, scientists in 50 years' time, they may laugh at the Big Bang model. They may go back to eternal universe, or they may have a different theory.
That's fine.
Right? Now, the evidence for the Big Bang, it seems plausible. I'm not saying it definitely took place, but I don't have a theological reason to reject it. I hope that makes
By
sense.
the way, the Big Bang doesn't mean the universe had a beginning. By the way.
Sorry.
No, it's a theory of the beginning of the universe.
No, but it's not even a theory at the beginning of the universe. It's the universe used to be very, very, very small at a point in time. They don't know what happened before a certain time.
Well, does it make sense to say before?
No, wait, it doesn't. Even if you believe in the Big
was
Bang,
no
does not mean that you believe that the universe began at that point. And that's something else. You said it's eternal and having a start.
When we go into something like, I don't know, how red is red and how red is that, you'll get nowhere. So to talk about